Welcome to today's featured Super World in our continuing Springtime Super Worlds series. This is a world by B. Suzuki, a fairly regular contributor to our viewer level streams, also an extremely prolific player and secret hunter in his own right. He completed this 20-course set and uploaded it in March of this year, so this is fairly new. This is just from a few weeks ago. And we'll see as much as we can today. Let's take a look. This is going to start you off with 33 lives. Looks like a relatively linear map for World 1, but we'll see exactly what that entails. I mean, we'll be doing every course we can on the map, of course, as we've been doing with pretty much every Super World that we've been playing over the course of this stream. Okay, I guess you sneak under the plant so you wrap around. We will, of course, be trying to go for optional rooms whenever possible. That was a bad idea. We should have thought about the jump back a little more carefully. Notice a little portrait in the top left corner as well, just giving you a bit of a sign of what is to come. I think I might actually have playtested an early version of this one. I don't think I played this version specifically, but yeah, we're going to have to wrap around and then go this way. There we go. Much better. Some momentum would have been nice, but without momentum we'll just wrap around here. Oh, whoops. Bump my head on a corner. And then we just wrap around to the cloud. We do a quick jump and then continue after that. Okay, let's be quick about it. That was rather smoother and a bit of foreseen. Whoops, it was not. Gives you a 1-up right at the start, you notice. Fairly generous about that. Just to give you an easy beginning. Whoops. So much for that, though. Oh, let's try to cut too many corners here. Yeah, we will go for optional content wherever possible. Whenever we're seeing, so. Around the corner, trimming some herbs. Let's get full momentum up here this time. And mind our heads at the corner. There we go. Much better. Let's wait for this to retract. Then that was not quite the best fall there. And a little bit of difficulty with that angle, but then we'll get on a snake block and see how the timing continues from that point. Plants versus plumbers, plural. Well, I only see one plumber over here. Now let's move this way. Oh. Our falling angles have needed work. It's going to be a bit risky. I knew I was slow. That's okay. Just getting warmed up. Wrap around down here and back. Cling. Let's wait. Oh, that was close. Now we need to watch the falling angle on the other side here and sneak over to the snake block. Okay, I guess you do have to jump over that. I was wondering if I would buy enough time. Do notice the coins 3 that is at the end of that if you stay on top of the snake block at the end of that sequence. Continue this way and let's head back and get some vine climbs done correctly for a change. I knew that was a bit of a risky timing. Yeah, you do need to jump both. They stall for a lot longer than I give them credit for, given the presence of those wings. Not going to be riding under those anytime soon on the blue snake block. Cutting too many corners here. Let's wait. And go. And we'll take our time with it. 6 coins total, probably 5 into safety if it's broken over checkpoint, but we'll see. And then, yeah, we need to have enough momentum to get over, of course, and also get on top of the snake block quickly so we can reach the coin in the top left before the whole column collapses. So we get on top, we do a quick little jump. That's if we make it there first, of course. Let's wait. Let it bob its way up just ever so slightly. And we'll wait one more time here. And then, yeah, there we go. Safety coin over here will eventually take a bone shell over here, I guess. Oh, whoops, thought I could sneak under, but again, not watching the timing very accurately. Okay, much better. This stack here is going to take a bit more work. You know, it's kind of funny. Well, you have to wrap over that and then go to the left, obviously. I've never really seen much of that particular setup before, even though it's just nothing particularly technically forbidding, just a Muncher Piranha double stack isn't something you see every day. A little bit deceptive here, of course, but at least you get to see the plant positioning right away, which is better than what you typically get as you scroll the pipe on screen. Yeah, we'll take it gently here. And then, timing's fairly relaxed, we just need to play better, really. And that's going to be coin 5, and we already notice positioning of the safety past that, so... Oh, let's get out. I assume that we'll need a bone shell to get up there, because we're going to take a bone shell all the way back. Ta-da! You know, we need to check the left side over here. This looks awfully suspicious. No, I guess it's not. Well, we're checking. More for the symmetry than anything, I suppose. It does mean this will be fairly straightforward. I think we might actually need shell form on the way back. Unless we can dip into that. No, I guess. Nope. Actually, you know, no. You just jump on the Muncher and ride it on the way back. That's the simplest thing. Yeah, this is time to permit the first cycle and everything, of course. That was a bad idea. I knew it was going to come out. You see, that's how it can just throw you off mentally a little bit. Even though I've seen it by now that the plant comes out, it doesn't go in. Now let's wait. Rather than rush through absolutely everything. Okay, there we go. Bone shell over here, and then the next coin from there on. Oh, nope, I was trying to jump on that. That's okay, we'll just get another one. Better that than just falling into the pit. We do need to keep it all the way, of course. We know that for a fact. Oh, jumped a little too late here. Could have just jumped to the left for safety and come back down for another shell, but hindsight, as they say. Alright, let's wait for this once more. And continue in here. Let's not forget the coin either. Rather important. Nope, overshooting it. Yeah, that timing is going to be a little bit tricky. Obviously, we do want to land on a muncher if we can as it's coming out, but we do need to aim for that location with a given timing. And that's perhaps easier said than done. It'll be interesting to reverse through this as well, because that is going to require us to step on some other munchers with the bone shell on the way, by the looks of it. Okay, let's wait this one out. Much better. Now we do want to step on these ones. I always love reversible levels and do differ a bit on the way back. But in this case with the power-up progression that we're just going to promptly lose by bumping our heads. Well, we know the way back, we just need to do it cleanly. Oh, let's wait for the next cycle. That was a little bit mistimed. And we'll proceed this way. Yeah, we'll just land and go. Nope. These muncher collisions can throw me off a little bit on the corners sometimes. One-ups are very generous along the way, as you can see. Pretty much a freebie at the checkpoint. And at the start of the level, for that matter. Rather necessary if we're going to take a dive like that. Okay, let's wait for this. Let it come down. And we know this whole sequence by now. We're just going to be rather untidy about it. Let's wait. Again, we'll just go for this position here. And try not to bump the corners on the way. Yeah, it's that little bob on the shell, of course, as we're going that's been throwing off my jump. Same thing that happens with the boot very often, where you just slip off of a jump because you're mid-bounce while you're running side to side. Of course, we know from recent experience that I've just been missing jumps like crazy off most corners these days. So that certainly doesn't assist matters. we'll take the shell back with us and continue. Okay, let's go over here. Nope. Yeah, we need to watch the corner consistently. That looks like the simplest thing, that jump over here on the way back. But it's been causing some grief. But we'll proceed. Well, safety coin will be there soon enough. Okay, now for this deceptive corner over here. Let's just be extra careful, and once again, missing the jump off the corner. Yeah, the little bounce in the shell is just, once again, compromising that whole moment of hesitation there. Whoops. Well, whoops. I was about to say, rather a worse start than we had anticipated on what is a mechanically fairly simple level. It's just we've been finding all these ways to choke. Anyway, let's sneak over. Yeah, we've been just getting back to this pipe every time. And having an astonishing amount of trouble with it as the launcher bobs up and down. Let's wait. Just take it easy. Well, we know what the trouble spot is at this point, so we'll just work our way back and see what we can get done. Well, this is usually not too much of an issue. Now here's the moment of truth. There we go, finally. Like I said, simplest thing, and then we need to fall in accurately here. That was actually a bit of a risk. And let's get a real exit. Complete with bonuses galore. It's a super world, we might as well take the lives and appreciate the generosity involved here. Look at the plants down below, holding their own little displaced celebration. Yeah, I guess these are just the two different exits, and then we will go for the one up at the flag. Alright, bit of a rough start, but... Oh, server communication error. Oh, come on, really? And this was on a super world too, so... Yeah, we've been having issues. Let's see what we can do. I don't know if that would register to clear at all. It might not, actually, so we might be in a position of having to start over. Wow. This might put an end to our ambitions today rather quickly. Let's see if we can reconnect. And let's just punch into code one more time. That was very unfortunate. We might actually just have to redo it. Well, we've seen the secret at this point, so despite the benefit to the life count, we might just try to speed through the level a little bit. We can indeed connect. Don't know if this is just my end or if it's just server maintenance generally. We had some issues connecting to seeing the banners in the comment art. last time as well. Let me try to just give the Switch a quick restart, because sometimes that can fix things. One moment. Okay, we are back in. Unfortunately, we did lose our progress in the first level. But we'll just play it again. Yeah, we did get the secret, all coins, on the first pass. Well, we've routed it out at this point, so let's hopefully stay connected and have the rest of the experience somewhat unimpeded. I don't know what was going on with that. We just lost connection on the Switch entirely for some reason. It happened at the end of the previous stream as well, where we just couldn't load any comment art when we really wanted to scan what was there in Super Boom Boom World. Whoops. But we are back, and we'll hopefully stay back. Like I said, well, yeah, I guess we'll grab the coins anyway, since we're in the habit of doing so. We're not going to be too fussy about it, since we did demonstrate everything on video already. We will have to get through a lot of the same execution checks. And that is the problem with the communication error hitting as you finish a course, luckily not one that was too much of a grind. And descriptive, as you're saying, Kendrick is straight murdering Drake in a public square. I'm afraid I'm not really up in my rap battles, so you might have to explain. Don't know what they even feud over in the genre nowadays. Oops, hang on. You just like dropping complete non sequiturs and not elaborating. I mean, that's true of a lot of hip-hop artists as well, so very appropriately self-referential. Okay. Let's get over here. I don't want to know. I guess not. Okay, let's get over here quickly and... Whoa! Didn't have that problem with the corner before. I guess we had an issue there. Today you became a Reddit mod, really? I mean, I don't know if you want to disclose too much by saying which subreddit, but enjoy the mod mail. I understand that the API changes last year cut off quite a lot of third-party cleanup tools. Pathfinder. Okay. Now, which Pathfinder is that? Is that the RPG Pathfinder? I assume it's not the defunct Mars rover Pathfinder. I've only kind of vaguely heard of Pathfinder as an RPG series. The TTRPG, not the Nissan car. Okay, I totally forgot it was a car. I've heard of it, of course, but I'm not a vehicle enthusiast by any means. Okay, let's wait for this. I certainly hope, by the way, since it gave me the little connection notification again, that we didn't just disconnect again in the middle of the level. Because for those just joining the stream, I completed this level with all secrets at the start of the stream, and then we disconnected at the very end, and because it's in a super world, we're redoing it. It's the first level of the super world, and we basically just had to restart fully. B-Minutes, welcome. Yeah, I understand that Pathfinder is well liked. I know there was a recent one from a few years ago that was kind of famously expansive. I was playing a lot of Divinity Original Sin 2 earlier this year, because I thought, okay, I have to clear it out from my backlog before I'll let myself play Baldur's Gate 3. And as much fun as it is, I think it's the kind of game that does lead to a great degree of burnout, Divinity OS 2 I mean, and so I didn't even wind up finishing it. I'm kind of on hold with it right now, and I feel like I'm kind of burned out of CRPGs for the next year or two at least. So I probably won't wind up playing Baldur's Gate 3 for some time anyway. I find I have to take, you know, big RPGs like that in fairly small doses. Okay, let's not miss this corner. Okay, good. We got out of here a lot faster than last time. Also means we didn't grind out as many extra lives on the way, I guess, though. We are going to get plenty of 1-ups over here. We finished on 41 or something when we disconnected earlier. So hopefully we are still connected to the server, because the fact that I got pinged by friends online in the middle of this level was not encouraging, and it seems to indicate to me that we might have had something break again. So we will see, because again, if we have connection errors and can't continue to Super World today, we might just have to postpone. Gotta play the Larian RPGs in chronological order so you get the whole story. Yeah, I actually never played the first Divinity, but apparently, I mean, not just Divinity, but like the first Divinity Original Sin, because OS2 was actually my first introduction to the series. Sure, let's play some baseball, if it is baseball. I haven't played one of these in ages. It is baseball, okay. I always loved how this retains all the sound effects from NES baseball. Oh, so much for knuckleball. Had all the sound effects from the NES original down by memory. From deep, deep childhood, I think. Anyway, that wasn't really much of a gain here, but we'll take it. We won't necessarily be doing every bonus room, but I'm currently just relieved that we stayed connected, and that we got back here in relatively short order. NES Baseball, that is on Nintendo Switch Online, is actually seriously competitive. Yep, it's a great game, actually. And, oh, we've got 100 seconds. I don't know if it's just here for the panic music. We just need to loop over to the on-off switch and then back down, and then up to the left, up to the key, and then back down. And then, yeah, there's a bit of a loop back and forth. Notice how, as with the first level, there's a little bit of introductory cover art in the top left corner above the entry point. And that it gives you this minimal representation of what you're in for as an experience. Okay, I guess we'll loop over here. I tapped a corner a little too long. And Mario, welcome. Yeah, B-Minutes, there's still nothing quite like NES Ice Hockey either. Speaking of which, I don't know if you've kept up with the news that there has been a first-party game rated for later this year that is somehow branded after the original Nintendo World Championships in 1990. And it might be a spiritual successor to something like NES Remix as far as anybody can tell, which would be wonderful because I always thought that NES Remix was sorely missing on this platform. Considering that it was very readily portable from the Wii U, in that it doesn't use any dual screen features or anything. The only thing was Miiverse, really, for the record keeping. I always thought that for all the Wii U to Switch ports, that NES Remix 1 plus 2 was conspicuously absent, considering how great they are. And considering how much of the rest of the Wii U library made it over, but I suspect that as with Yoshi's Woolly World, that the titles that were already ported once to 3DS, notwithstanding Captain Toad, were just kind of perceived internally as dealt with already, in that that Nintendo didn't feel like revisiting those for Switch, but I'd be elated if we got a game of that sort, as people suspect from the listing, later this year. I'll switch to the left, and then... yeah, we need to mind this corner here, and it's going to be some kind of short bounce. We just need momentum right to left. Do I know anything about Crab's Souls? Do you mean another Crab's Treasure? Is that the one that you're talking about, Descriptivist? Because I've seen the trailers for it. I do know that it's a Crab game in the Souls format. Or a Souls game in the Crab format, one of the two. A Sheldon Ring, as it were. And you've been enjoying it, that's good to know. I should look into it. We used to stream a lot more smaller independent titles here a couple of years ago, and I'm quite backlogged with those at this point. Yeah, like I said, I'll be doing Super Worlds probably over the next few weeks or so. But I do want to return to the indie backlog sooner rather than later. And just knock out a whole bunch of games later this year, so we might have to look into that one. Oops. Yeah, that corner here has been catching me every time. But yeah, I follow a lot of the indie announcements frequently enough to know just how much I'm missing. Another Crab's Treasure was something that I kind of jotted down in my notes as something to pay attention to. Oh, we totally lost momentum here. Yeah, you kind of need full left to right momentum. We used the wall on the right side as alignment previously. We can't do that on the left side because of the placement of the muncher. That the spring height is going to get us into trouble right there, so... Anyway, let's move on up. And you follow a streamer who's going to do a game-a-thon. Sorry, I'll read that properly in just a moment. Whoops. He's going to stream straight for a whole to-do list of games he's been meaning to get to. Starting with the shorter ones makes sense. Yeah, I wish I had time to really do that properly. I have been generally pretty good up until last year, maybe, about actually playing through games that are in my backlog. I try not to grab too many things on sale that I'm not going to get to in the immediate future. But sometime in the last maybe 2 years or so, my Switch backlog in particular just ended up getting quite clogged again. And I really do want to do a lot of shorter games again as well. Yeah, a couple years ago at this point, I think it was maybe 2021, I want to say, I did spend the summer doing something similar where we just knocked down a whole sequence of the shorter indie titles that I've been picking up, most of which could be done in the space of a week or less. Yeah, we do need to fall directly into the note block there after that switch. I wasn't quite sure from the speed of the snake block whether we should try to make that landing, but... And the problem is that there are a number of very long games that I would have to make a decision about whether it's practical to stream them. Because there is such a thing as games that are just too big to stream in some ways. Which doesn't account for how I spent like about 400 hours in Zelda last year and 200 hours in Fire Emblem Engage. Which is one of the reasons I had a backlog creep up on me. But yeah, we've had some fairly large experiences where, you know, sometimes I look at something and it's like, okay, if I commit to streaming this, I'll just never finish it. It's just not possible. Because Xenoblade 3, for instance, took me about, what, 4 months to get through on and off stream. And I actually do still mean to do DLC at some point, because we've got a couple of viewers here who are big Xenoblade aficionados who want to see it. Future redeemed. And we're not going to lock that behind a points redemption. It's future redeemed, not channel points redeemed, but it's something I do mean to get to as well. And I picked up Persona 5 Royal a little while ago, and I haven't touched it yet, but that's also one that is, you know, reputedly super, super long, and ordinarily I would just think, okay, it's just too long to stream, I don't think it's practical, but then I heard that apparently for whatever reason that a lot of screen capture, like the onboard screen capture on the Switch, is actually disabled for a big chunk of the game, because apparently that's just something Atlus does with their titles. And that might actually be incentive to stream it, because, you know, even when I play things off stream, I'm a pretty obsessive record keeper, and I just take tons and tons of screenshots. Try to retain as much as I can. Okay, yeah, it has to be one smooth jump to the on-off switch and straight back down the diagonal. So now I'm thinking that I might actually have to stream Persona 5, because, you know, that's the only way we'll be able to keep a record. But I'd basically have to block off, you know, 3 or 4 months of streaming time for that, probably. On top of sticking with Mario Maker. So, I don't know if that'll happen. There we go, finally. No, not quite. We've been bouncing off too many walls. Like I said, the whole Super World has been very generous with just giving you one-ups at every starting point, so the lives don't matter too much at this stage, at least. This is a 20 level pack, given our current pace and given the disconnection that we had that set us back by quite a bit. Beginning to think we'll break this into 2 sessions, but we'll see how the rest of the levels go. You never quite tell what's going to be manageable from the level count. We have a whole list of Super Worlds that I do mean to get through. And some of the decisions for what to play which week are based on length and perceived difficulty. but we will make those decisions and determinations as we go. Okay, here, let's read this properly first. It's going to be straight over to one-way panel. Wrap around to the snake block, over to the skull, and then you hit the on-off switch, and then you jump over the muncher, which at that point drops on top of the blue blocks. Now the problem is... oh, I guess you would have to land on the snake block as it has repositioned at that point, because it's going to go down the track where it's marked, and then you go straight over the pipe. Okay. I see the intended path. 44 seconds on the clock. We can't just dawdle all day on things like this. Okay. Anything? Guess not, but we'll take the clear. Short and sweet experience. I'm just relieved that we're not disconnecting at the end of these levels so far. Oh, I guess, yeah, scratch what I said earlier about, and apparently, on linear layout, we are going to do every level, of course. So let's not head off to any castles too far ahead. El Thwampor Pasa. And for those who know the original song. Okay. And yeah, it does look like... oops. I have to land on the ant here. And go over it. It does look like the top left screen being used as a bit of an album cover for each successive level. It is a consistent feature here. It's a rather lovely touch. And we just need to stay on the ant troopers until we get on Thwomp, and then there's going to be a bit of a jump through the ant trooper column as we go across. And we need to jump through that just a little bit more carefully. This is technically an extra bonus level, so we can expect some slightly tighter margins. Okay. And oh yeah, we do need to get in here before the thwomp hits. I noticed that right before we, well, experienced failure. Very readable, we just need to make the jumps and not throw ourselves off too much with the twirls. Yeah, it's this jump over here that we just need to estimate quite a bit better than we've been doing, and then we just need to get ahead to the next clear pipe with better reaction time than we previously demonstrated. Yeah, so through we go. That's gonna hit the POW, and then what does that do for me? Not much. Oh, whoops, no, I was trying to get the twirl there. I didn't realize I was still hugging the wall. And Nike Sisuda, welcome. Oh. Nope, that's a little late. That was within icicle range at that point. Yeah, because we need to get over to the skip squeak pretty smoothly and get over to the lower blocks well ahead of the thwomp. I'm beginning to see that. I didn't see what was going on there with the skip squeak. I suppose you do need to sneak under it after hitting that. So, didn't read ahead to see which jump was triggering it. Yeah, Kisetsuno, I hope things have been going well with you over there. Let me give you a quick shout out. And so you've been on part 1 of the remake series, if I understand that. As it goes remake and rebirth, and then who knows what comes after that. I haven't been following it. I mean, I've been passively watching some people stream Rebirth recently without really following closely because I actually am not really that familiar with the original, which I understand is a bit of a requirement. Soft requirement, perhaps, to fully appreciate all the ways in which the remake is not really a remake. Yeah, the third will be something. One of those where I'll get to them someday once they've completed the series and everything's on PC. Yeah, I didn't know if they had announced the next title. I didn't think they had, but I don't keep up as closely as a lot of people do with JRPGs, so... or at least news surrounding the... Whoops. Come on. Need to stop missing. And yeah, too slow. I wonder if we need to do the twirl jump to hit that. I think we do, but we might not be estimating distance correctly here. Let's actually hit the up height. Go on. Up we go. Yeah, we don't need to. I've been losing too much time on a twirl. That's one of the issues we're encountering here. I guess we need the skip squeak to land first, and then we jump towards it. We don't really need to hit that one out. I find that games from Square are often just playing with some sort of metafictional experiment into titling anyway. Maybe for the smaller series, not so much for Final Fantasy, but I know a lot of the games to publish really do mess around with titles. I see. We need the icicle to... Yeah, I didn't even realize it was dangling icicle there. So we're supposed to get up to the one up because I guess it's within range of the icicle drop. It would drop back down to the left. I'd just been misreading that. I thought we had to sneak under the skip squeak if we raised it with the correct triggering action. That was not the case. Whoops. We need to stop missing. You know, it's possible to maybe sneak under by going to the right of the thwomp and just kind of wall jumping and skipping the pipe. I don't think we'll try that, though. I think we'll just do things standard to keep it simple. Yeah, you can kind of go back to the left and then wall jump off, I think, after the icicle trigger. Basically, we just need the icicle to kill the skip squeak and figure out how to proceed from there. Okay. Oh, no, that is correct. We just need to be faster about it. Yeah, it's not a landing back on the left. It is a wall jump sequence to stay alive long enough to get through the pipe. Okay, no, we can do that too, unless, of course, the thwomp wrecks the ground as I'm trying to jump. We just need to react quickly to whether I'm making a landing on the left side after we hit that one-up block, which We don't really need to do, we just need icicle range. One up would have been nice, because our life count is taking a bit of a hit here, but now we race, and then, yeah, we do need to get under that. Well, we'll see what that entails. I think we do need to get back on the swamp and then jump it, or at least let this Skip Squeak land. Not quite clear, because I'm not seeing how high it goes off that jump. No, we actually just jump straight over it. We've got plenty of room, it doesn't go that high. Not going to be sneaking under it, though. It doesn't give us quite enough room to be... Oh, doing that. Didn't realize what was going to spawn there. I suppose we could have assumed that it was something that would give me a bounce. It's going to be a ground pound on the purple block after that brick to get over the next big one that we're approaching in the bottom right. We'll worry about that when we get that far. Let's build a bit more momentum off the swamp here. Oh, I'm much too slow here. Luca, welcome. We were way behind pace, for whatever reason. Nope. Yeah, we need to get the ground pound immediately, or we are just going to be too slow. We don't really have enough time to land and then jump in and ground pound in that location. Whoops. Oh, missed the one up. From not sitting there long enough. This is going to constrain my jump a little bit. The issue with my arc over to Pokey is that it took too long to get over to a position where we could get the ground pound on the right side of that column. And so when we were hitting the trigger for it previously, we were a little bit low, a little bit late. Oops. Yeah, Luca, we had some unfortunate connection trouble at the end of Super Boom Boom World the other day where I didn't get to see all the comment art because we just couldn't load it. Which was too bad because I was quite looking forward to capping off the experience with that. Once again, thanks for that, Super World. Just a marvelous experience all around. Oops. Don't know if there's a faster way than to double back over the swamp, but certainly we can't go under it. Whoops. Not enough distance for the long jump. You were watching as you slept? Yeah, I like doing that as I sleep as well. Mario Maker is wonderful for that. That's a joke, of course, because I don't actually sleep. Yeah, we have to hit the ground pound immediately. We don't have enough time to land there. The pump comes over. It's going to be a tricky timing. Nope. Too late once again, and you can tell because the swamp knocked out that wall. I think that's the timing check there, that if we are able to get the wall jump off the wall rather than off the swamp, then we are early enough and have enough time to tap the exclamation block. You need to tap multiple times to eradicate the blaster column, as far as I can tell. Nope. He's trying to fall to the left here, which I think we should be doing rather than jumping. We hadn't missed the ground pound, but we've made it. Shorter jumps in general in some of these places would be a pretty big help. Not here, though. Nope, too late. Needs to be 4 hits. We don't have nearly enough time right now. Whoa, I lost too much momentum. Yeah, it's going to be 4 hits on the exclamation block to get through the blaster column. That's going to be tight. Now, we get on top of the thwomp after that to enter the pipe. I see that now. That timing was okay. After the last hit, we can slide off the side of the thwomp. So 4 hits with nowhere to land on is actually still fine. Timing was fine, the ending was not. Nope, too much sliding, which led to the accidental wall jump. Too much sliding off the side. Fall off to the left. Oops. We actually could have just gotten ahead of the thwomp that time. We had plenty of time for once. Does require a fair bit of control here. Fall to the left. And we're through. Yeah, lovely sequence, but tricky. Oh, nope, so much for that. Okay, let's not hit the pokey then. I don't know if we'll be doing all the minigame rooms. I'm kind of eager to complete the levels themselves, so let's just skip and regret it later. Anyway, World 1 Castle. Let's see what it has in store. Yeah, once again, a preview image here that tells me that there's going to be some wall jumping over pokies. And probably some wall jumping here as well. Oh, there we go. Secret room. We'll take it. Might not take it every time, but we'll take this as a substitute for all the one-up rooms we skipped. Probably some secrets we've missed in the other levels so far as well, but we'll respawn here. And, oh, you know what? We didn't even need to do that. We just climbed the easy way. But we did it a stylish way, which I will take. I was expecting that to slow down for some reason. I thought the blaster would slow down. Have I just been playing too much Maker 1? Yeah, that dropped a lot faster than I thought it would. Oop, missed. The fact that the blaster was still continuing into the lava at full speed totally threw me off. Whoops. Oh, we didn't want to hit that twice, obviously. Whoops, no. The additional tap actually helped there, but ideally we will not play like that. Nope. I'm trying to hit that once and then sneak off to the side. We need to hit that once and fall to the left, in fact. So we don't get stuck on the horizon platform. Our way back down. Or we can do that. That was not the tidiest. Oh, that should have been a spin, but I see. We didn't have enough time to get the auto switch there. Should have been a spin. Nope, missed it. Didn't want to get into the false side there. I just wanted to land cleanly, hit the on off, and get out as soon as we could. Yeah, the fact that the platform goes up there does throw me off quite a bit as well. That's right, we'll learn the sequence as we go. Yeah, up here. You know, I can just jump this a standard way. We don't need to wall jump off the top corner. It slows me down too much. And Aki says you just looked it up and the third part has not been titled yet. Yeah. I thought even Rebirth was titled fairly recently, but I could be wrong about much of this. I wanted to jump off the block as it's coming down. Maybe we should just slide off of it and twirl, but I don't think I should ride it down and jump, but we just fell off the corner. Okay. Just going a bit smoother. That went a lot better than I expected, actually. We'll be a wall jump off of this and then onto the swamp and a wall jump up top, matching the cover art here. Okay. Whoops. Let's not slip too much. Everything was going fine to that point. But the reaction time on this level does have to be fairly swift. Nope. Okay, down we go, and then... Nope. Yeah, once again, we just never want to double tap that. We pretty much snuck it out of that corner rather swiftly on previous attempts, but... Yeah. The double tap is a big risk if your positioning is poor. It's a very tight corner, but we made it. Don't want to slip off the side, of course. Nope. Yeah, once again, the momentum control out of that corner makes a lot of difference for evading the double tap. Also just need to tap the switch as soon as you land. Not much leeway there. Okay, there we go. Sure, we'll take that. And a checkpoint. And I guess... Is this the axe already? How would it be? Because... I guess you would need to be tall for this. Unless something with a skull platform. Yeah, we need to get to the skull platform. And... just lift this out of the way. Okay. That's not going to be a wall jump off that. I wonder what's going on with that question block then. Probably something to do with maybe riding the skull platform at some later point, unless you're just supposed to get double tall or with a triple jump for that matter. Oh. Okay. Oh, I see. That's probably a POW or something, or... Well, not a POW, but some kind of remote trigger. Now... Oh, that just lets him go backwards. And then we just tap this accordingly. That's World 1. And here we are in one forest evolution or another. And I guess we'll get through here. Everything's poisoned, so let's be careful. Several of the course titles in this series are actually puns or jokes in Portuguese, and so it's not something that's just easily translatable with a lookup. I do know that bacalhau is, I think, codfish. So, bacalhau, I'm not exactly sure what the joke is, but, well, trying not to get poisoned by too much of that. Also, have to resist the temptation to twirl after playing a new soup level right before this one. I think I do need to get over that quickly. I don't think we'll be hitting that question block from below. Well, let's see. Just need to dodge a little more accurately and watch the bounce timing on some of these as well. Some of it I'll have to be quick about. When you see two in sequence, I should be jumping immediately over the second one with that kind of spacing. Everything's going to be made regular by the auto scroll, of course, so timings will be reliable across the board. It's just that we need to, yeah, jump immediately when it comes to this sequence of two here. Whoops, and without bumping the head on the corner, of course. I have a pretty clear intended timing at this point. We just need to make it successfully. Not the only one to be caught in that location, as we can see. Got jump immediately. And then too slow on that one. We needed to get to that platform sooner. Not much of an opportunity to get around it otherwise, just given how quickly Auto Scroll is going to push us there. Oops, I actually jumped the gun a little bit. We were early. Fell behind a little bit there, but we are going to make it out. Too slow, yeah. Can't really delay. I mean, if the fish had just been properly cured, we wouldn't have this problem. Hesitated a bit there. We could have made that quite easily if we didn't delay by that much at the very end. It becomes pretty clear which time when the jumps need to be fairly immediate. And we'll just keep on going. Okay, that's going to be good. I didn't know if that was going to jump over me at that location. No, we just need to sneak across. Possibly even with a spin. If that helps. Okay. Without bumping our head on the corner, of course. And yeah, we just need to sneak through that second cheap. Second set, rather, that's coming in. That last sequence where we're losing. Still haven't quite mapped it exactly where we're going over or under, but we'll try to sort that out. We can stall and let it go over. I don't know if that compromises us for the jump after that, but it seems like the muncher should actually leave us enough room at that point. We hang back. Up till that point, it has generally not been a right answer to hang back instead of going quickly. But we'll see if we have enough of a safety margin to get under those cheap in the second cluster safely. Oops. We'll get there. A little behind the auto scroll here, but we know that this timing here will sort itself out somewhat, so Okay, that works. That worked quite well, in fact. Except for this little off-screen bit here where we needed to let the Chief Chiefs come down. The auto-scroll does stop at that point. I think that leaves us enough room with the amount of spacing that we have after the goal, such that we do still have the platform to stay on that last bit. So, yeah, there is a little bit of deliberate hesitation that's going to have to happen near the end. That's a bit of a twist, where you do need to watch your timing instead of just going quickly. Really short level though, that's going to be the ending already. Okay, managed to back into this. Okay. Then we go for the tape. I had a moment there where I had to remember in midair that yes, you do not need to hit the tape in Maker 2. Because as I was sailing over there, there was a moment of doubt. Again, let's do every level. Not that this is branching yet. Okay, it looks like we'll actually have some water here. Yeah, you need to pop under and then get onto Buzzies quick enough to get back out. So jumping out of water will be the thing we need to worry about. Bit of a controlled scroll stop at the outset here. No, it's spin jump. It's obviously spin jump. Quite a lot to read on the screen, that's all. We were well behind the auto-scroll timing at this point. Yeah, so it is auto-scroll, but then with an initial scroll stop that breaks on a proximity trigger, so it's kind of up to the player to trigger the initial interaction and go. You get a moment to admire the cover art once again, not that we've seen what those piranhas are about yet. Okay, let's swim this bit here quickly. We can actually get over. And over. Oh, there we go. Wow, just in time. We probably could have snuck over to the right side there. I bet it would have been a 1-up or something. Anyway, here's a wall. It's going to chase us. We just need to navigate this somewhat accurately. Nope, we need to jump over there and slide. I did see that, we just have issues with jumping off vines every now and then. Once again, a player trigger at the start, we're a little behind pace already. We'll need to cut some corners along the way. Oh, nope, I don't know why I thought it was going to be the pipe when the coins obviously continue. Oh, popped up a little too high there. It's okay, let's keep pace if we can. The levels are lenient enough to catch up. We need to crouch for a bit longer and then just jump over to the 50 coin as the plant is going down. Possibly even a spin jump just to make sure we don't have issues with its retraction timing. Oops. Okay. Down we go. Never mind, forgot the spin jump, but we made it. The little staircase here, of course, was the part we saw in the cover artwork, as it were, above the arrow initially. More like a Maker 1 style thumbnail in some ways, given the aspect ratio. The squarishness of it. I wonder what happens if you go back down. Obviously, we don't trigger anything here, but I wonder if there's anything we could have explored. I mean, it's just a single column on the right, it won't be that. So, let's just get out.
Oh yeah, Mario time!
Yeah, these have been really quick and confined. So far, here's Creeper, Clearwater Revival. Not going to give much credence to that title. But yeah, this is basically a water world in its own fashion. We need to swim a little more accurately, though. Generally find a lot of the timing gates here a bit on the quick side for me, but I'm gonna make it. Underneath. Nope. A little late on that. As the skip squeaks respond to the bombing. Yeah, it's sort of interesting that you have these creepers going at full speed and it feels really quick just because the swim speed limits you slightly. Oh, that block there. Yeah, because you're slower underwater and make a bit of a difference here. Oh. Ah, yes, and then we just go around and complete the circuit. And we're through. Nope, we do need to swim. I can't just hold right there and expect results. You need to bomb ahead just a little bit. I was hoping it would clip the pokey, but I guess not. We need to just hang left a little bit. Oh, I see. A conveyor. Yeah, because we need to get on the conveyor to pick up a little bit of speed to outpace there. Took me a moment to register that. Bump. Sealed with a kiss. Yeah, no, I do need to land there. And then head down the pipe so the creeper can overshoot slightly. Interesting interaction here with the spike ball, just pausing it and letting it continue from there since it's still stretching. Oh, once again we need to land on the belt. Takes a moment to intuit simply because there isn't that much space between the creeper and the spike ball to work with, and so I was concerned I was getting ahead there, but nope. Yeah, well, you do need to get on the conveyor and then bob at least once to get over to the pipe quickly. Need to watch that properly. Oh, once again. Deliberately using the conveyor underwater is something that feels very unconventional. So, in spite of the fact that we know it's a solution, it's something that is easy to resist by intuition. Oh, thought it would block like the other one earlier, but I guess that's not what happens with the blue creeper in that position. Yeah, really interesting sequence. But yeah, subjectively speaking, the drag on the swim speed makes all of the moving parts just seem a lot faster than usual. Just in comparison to your reaction time as a player, your ability to react. Nope, that's not it. Oh no, you need to go down immediately, so you activate the thwomp, and then you go up the top pipe before the creeper comes here at all. So you don't delay on the lower pipe. You go there quickly. As fast as possible, in fact. It took me a moment to read what was going on with the thwomp, and we're still in the mode of thinking about the previous interaction, I think, and so... Okay. Nope. Once again, dragged a little bit. The final sequence. Tell I was a little bit behind some parts of the timing here, but yeah, we just need to get the swim button pretty strategically in places, so. Out of here, then that's it. I guess we'll just be extra careful. Well, it's been a very quick world too so far. We will see, of course, if we've jinxed it. Is it just 4 levels in here, really? Or did I miscount? Oh yeah, I guess it is 5 worlds, 4 levels each. Yeah, because of the maximum typically being a 5. I mentally had it the other way around. Anyway, icicles over P blocks. We'll see what that means. Okay, Night Castle, we need to swim. I mean, we've had a whole sequence of swimming levels here in the water world, which I guess was also the forest. Yeah, we need to get out of here before one-way panel. This has been much more of a swim test than we typically see makers dare to put together. Love that activation with the mecha, in fact. Chaining all the way to the bomb. Yeah, it's only Night Castle in the subworld. Be fairly quick about this. That was getting me a bit stuck at the corner, and we just need to be much more precise about bombing over the thwomp. In general, a lot of mechanically refined levels in the swimming themes are in pretty short supply. Often. Oh. Get this a little late here. P block over the bottom right. Now, why would that be? Wonder what this is all about. With a P block on the right. I mean, I don't think I can get there. Oh, yeah, that's just the initial drop position for the munches, perhaps. Anyway, checkpoint. What's the donut block all about? Let's find out. I guess... Oh, yes, it's just a timing check. Up top is the... I'm just going to activate it. Oh, we need to get within... No, we need to get it within icicle range on the donut block to activate it repeatedly to send the Potoboo down to the left to activate each bomb in succession. So yeah, basically we need to get back over to this donut block multiple times we can without being pushed out by the gate. Yeah, interesting little boss sequences in miniature that we've seen with some of these. Oh, nope, can't miss there, of course. Yeah, but this is effectively the World 2 boss. We just need the blaster column to be on the right when we go for it. And we should try not to eliminate the donut blocks if we can, just we have a platform in place. And that's basically the sequence here. And we need to get on top of the blasters to hit something that's going to drop on top of the donut block. Oh, no, it's... Oh, that's too bad. The star got zapped. Luckily, we got another one quickly, so... I thought it was going to be a power or something that would hit there, but I guess... A star works just as well as long as it does not get zapped in that way. Very quick World 2. Let's get on to World 3. Anyway, we have a branching path once again. Top path seems to be the one that leads to all the one-ups, so we'll do it first. Since it's the special one. We're gonna have cookies in the air. Whoop. Didn't quite see where we're going there, but I guess now we know that the gap is climbable. We'll take that. Obviously, jumping off of vines is always a bit of a concern. And just maintaining momentum while thinking about the positioning relative to the auto-scroll as well. Just attaining a good subjective sense of speed is going to be a big part of what we're doing. And every part of it is here. Yeah, a lot of moving parts here at many different velocities. We need more momentum coming out of that, and then after that is going to be the dry bones. Now it's got wings on it. It's going to take 2 hits. How exactly it's going to work we haven't seen yet, but yeah, getting a bit too much drag on the left. Oops. Nope. Just trying to get in position over there. I mean, Divine is pushing up at that point, and again, I always have a bit of trouble getting enough momentum jumping off a vine, so we do need to work on that. Given that it's a pretty specific position we'll be working with there. Nope. Be a little bit lower on that, or at least further to the right. Definitely the moment of greatest concern. Actually, that kind of spread there is fine as long as we get on the platform accurately. Again, lots of moving parts here that we need to account for in our momentum calculation. But we'll get back there. And hopefully get it done. No, yeah, it's the reversal of the platform that I'm not accounting for, because I expect that it's going to go another tile further to the left. It's not the case. We've been stalling too much on the second dry bones bounce. Let's see what it's throwing me off. Because the platform reverses just as you might expect it to continue. That's just because this edge kind of obscures the location where the tracks break off from each other. Need to get on that quickly, just do a bit of a short hop to get on the other side. The bones are going to wake up at the end of that sequence and probably will be in the position of reusing them, but why else would the track take it that far to the right after ones have been disabled? So we'll see what we can do. Okay, and then, ooh, yes, again, bit of a staggered reversal in the poke Easter is going to be quite a bit of back and forth. Or at least maybe a higher jump there at the end to get over it at the turnaround. You do need to read quite a few tracks at once. This is here how the various endpoints are staggered. Nope. Well, we'll get there. A little bit early there, but that is the right idea. That we'll be heading down to the bones to position ourselves directly under the top pokey column there, so we can get under and make a bit of a triangle. We knew that was coming. It's actually perhaps even better to just stay on the right side of that platform. We do one jump for safety, but we'll see. It's doable both ways. But we're trying to simplify things a little bit. Yeah, I can't go over what a great touch the title images are for each level. Lost too much momentum there. I do see that the bomb is going to lower the spring at some point, but then probably late enough that we do still need to jump over it. Jump over the pokey that is coming into the right there. we'll see. What that timing is going to be like when we get there. Nope. Yeah, it's just a very quick jump off that vine. It's one of those locations where you just have to play it by instinct and hope that this cloud down here gets into the right place in time, because too many things to read if you're trying to time it up precisely yourself. You just jump and cross your fingers that it works. Right here. Given the differential speed of everything coming in, we slowed down a bit more than usual there, apparently. Didn't really have that much trouble making it over to the bones on time before that, but that's 2 attempts now that we've lost to that, so who knows. Little subtle changes in momentum can make a big difference here, including positioning on the vine. If you're just up high like that and you don't have room to jump, that's by itself going to cause too much of a delay. Actually, clinging onto the vine is beneficial too. Jump over to the right. Maybe not that far to the right. Still better than trying to do 2 jumps in quick succession there, though. You can tell sometimes there's a bit of variance to where I am exactly on the auto scroll. Yeah, you jump over that pokey, but then the bomb is going to take that down by 1 tile, and then... Oh no, the bomb is actually going to blow up the hard block that is holding up that whole stack, and so... maybe we don't really get to land on that spring a second time. Unless we have to catch it while it's sinking. If we do have to catch it while it's sinking, since there is that huge column that's coming in... dangling off the top track. Immediately after. I'm beginning to think we landed a spring, and then as it sinks off screen, we jump off of it as we get near the end. Oops. Yeah, the momentum control here is a lot trickier than it looks. Again, just tons of moving parts. And lots of reversals on the tracks as well that are all over the place in terms of where they line up. Yeah, I can tell I'm a bit late if it's turning around at that location already. Well, we'll just try to get over quickly and overshot that time. Again, always have to account for a little bit of drag there. On all of these moving elements heading left. Jump like that. Too soon. Very tricky in places. Yeah, especially if we lose momentum on the landing. Usually as a result of some mid-air adjustment of mine. I am overcompensating for the previous mistakes there at this point. Because we had so many attempts where we were getting caught by the reversal of the bones. But the sooner we can get back on track, the better. So we can get back to the bomb spring obstacle that we haven't really seen play out yet. Which I suspect is going to be a very low drop on our part. Whoops. Yeah, the track endpoints matter a lot more than usual when it comes to visualizing. Go. Lost momentum. It is a short bounce over there, of course. You get on the spring quickly, you jump over the short pokey, and then you kind of need to fall back down on the spring and drop as the bomb goes off. You don't want the bomb explosion to outpace the landing in that location, but then you do need to get ready to jump forward at that point. That's as far as we've gotten though, so we haven't really seen it play out yet. So get back there. See what we can clue into here. Right and up. Yeah, that's exactly it, and then it's going to be on the bones and over to the vine, and that's near the end of that segment as long as we make it off the vine jump. So it is what I thought it would be. We just need to not miss. Yeah, just need to time that out properly, and too much momentum loss there. That threw me off. Okay, doubling around there, which we said we wouldn't do. But it works. Whoops, again. Too much of a momentum cut as we try to align ourselves properly coming out of the note block there. That's been a bit of an issue. Yeah, if you land facing left in some of these, that's enough to spoil the attempt. So to the extent that I'm adjusting my landings, we do need to correct facing direction as we drop. Otherwise, there's just a ton of momentum loss all of a sudden. Not enough time to build up again as we push forward. Okay, let's head over. Nope. Yeah, maybe doubling back with 2 jumps is actually safer, positionally speaking. It's just a little more reaction sensitive. That's why I'm reluctant to do it this way when jumping off to the right side does work, as long as we're careful about it. like every level in this set, it just feeds you 1-ups right away, so we're not really feeling the death count here. But it is probably quite substantial. This is definitely the most difficult piece that we've done in this set so far, which makes sense considering that it is on the bonus route marked with a star. Oh, I knew that was going to be a problem. It took too long on mine. From having latched onto it a bit far to the left. Yeah, getting on and off the vines has been consistently the thing I'm most concerned about. No, that's going to be too slow anyway. And yeah, once again, just too much of a pullback on that note block. Well, that's going to happen from time to time. Let's straighten it out. A lot of single segment levels in this set, actually. And some levels that are designed to be short enough to not particularly need a checkpoint. But also, typically because there's a bit of contiguity to the whole playable layout such that you do need to see the playable space develop the way you do with auto-scroll. And nope, got bounced. We're supposed to land on top and then fall. We did that successfully earlier. We just need to execute it again without bouncing off the side like that. We'll get back there and do it. Nope. Once again, too much drag on that cloud from landing facing left. Nope, that was poorly planned. We needed to really get in a proper position there to make a jump without hitting the ceiling. That was the first time I'd seen that continuation though, so we did need to learn it. Okay. Once again, let's not spill off the edge like that. I think going left and right quickly, there's probably the intended pattern. Neither method really feels totally clean for me, to be honest. We have trouble with both. Nope, missed it completely. Rather consistently the case with many of these levels that the player gets to trigger the start of any auto-scroll timings. You don't just have to get off to a running start with every attempt. You need to take a moment to collect yourself. So yeah, it's Divine Climb at the very end, followed by jump off a rather tall pokey without hitting the ceiling. That seems to be the last major obstacle that we can see from what we've gathered of the layout so far. Whoops. Okay. That was not the usual mistake, but perhaps looking forward to that next landing a bit too eagerly. Here we go. Jump immediately. Fall. No, we needed more rightward momentum. I kind of saw that would be a problem just given how far to the right we landed on the spring. That was going to be a risk. We do have enough time to adjust if that happens. Just needed to see it coming. It's a momentum issue that was about to happen. Yeah, it's the jumps off vines that are the deadliest thing here. Momentum coming off of the vine climbs has never quite felt right in either Maker game. That's another way of saying that we're just kind of bad at that. Again, you can tell it's late if the bones are going to reverse in that position before we're quite ready. Yeah, there's going to be tons of timing variance on the player's part from attempt to attempt. You're off even slightly with things like where and when you're clinging onto the vines. Minor nuances in how you land as well. Okay. Yeah, we just needed a Pokey to make it far enough over at full speed that we could get over it safely, and then that is another checkpoint, which means there's quite a bit more to come, potentially. Let's just... Oh, okay. It's gonna scroll quickly. And we're behind pace already because of how long we took after we activated the icicle. Yeah, it took me a moment to see that this was going to be a sensitive auto-scroll timing here. Oh, that Pokey is going to confine us as well, the one waving left and right. I guess we have to slide under it on the blue platform as we lower it. And not slide under it, but we can just walk it because it's a blue platform. And then, yeah, we need to distinguish walls from semi-solids here as we make our way up. And then, yeah, we can kind of delay that for a moment. Just watch the track timing. Right, we just need to jump there and dodge the Pokey until the bomb has done its business. Nope, I was trying to reverse out of that and we just missed a jump instead. Need to go straight for the wall there, I think, and then get a nice right to left motion going there. So we can get that reversal done properly on the right side before the Pokey comes down on our head. There we go. And then up, just need to watch this bounce here. No, we just came down there at that time. Scroll's gonna catch up to us fairly quickly there too. Oh, no. I knew I had to wait for the third bounce there. We just slid a little bit too far before coming to a complete stop. Something felt a little bit off about how we let the question block that time. Everything just fell apart from there. Nope. I could tell it was a bit off that time as well. Nope, too low. Hadn't touched that corner before. That was just a poor landing. Reverse out of here and out of here. Yeah, I could tell that was once again late and also just too far to the left of the note block. Didn't get the correct momentum on that landing at all. Whoops. Yeah, once again, just didn't build up speed. But we should have. We'll get there. Can't really stall like that though. I mean, we might as well just get through the door if we know there's going to be a bit of delay. And just reset quickly with the blaster block at the entry point. But yeah, so reversal on the note block on the right, that's most concerning right now. If we get there first. I don't know why that's been throwing me off. I think it's because we've been waiting too long on bomb detonation and hesitating because of that. Because of course you don't want to get within range of the bomb while it's going off, but I'm probably backing up out of that a little too much and not accounting for the muncher. Oh, that was terrible. Yeah, once again, just bumping our head on the corner of the ceiling is instantly going to compromise that attempt. Yeah, the timings up to that point are very clear. And again, it's not even a timing issue, it's just making sure we get the correct kind of landing on a note block and quickly. We can afford to shave a lot of our jumps on the way too, but we're still going to be at the mercy of the auto-scroll when it comes to everything being set up with a very reliable timing. So we'll see what we can do here. Yeah, we don't get trapped in a corner, then we are fine. Nope, missed the high bounce. We just needed the high bounce there at precisely that moment, and that would have been just fine. Felt like it was maybe delaying a bit relative to the auto scroll, but no, I think that is supposed to be the timing. It's the one that's available. Yeah, if we don't hit the corner, we're good. Okay. What is even the continuation? Oh, I see. Yeah, it's just a jump, and it's just a jump off the edge, which we typically have all kinds of issues with. But we need to sneak under that one pokey above the cloud on the left side and just land directly on the pokey on the right side. I was wondering if we had to jump on something to clear that gap, but no, it is just one giant lunge. It has to be quite precise. I actually think we'll crouch jump out of it. That makes a lot more sense. Makes any difference, which it should. Yeah, just one big crouch jumper at the end should hopefully do it. Took me a moment to just read where we were going. Okay, we don't hit the corner and then we're good. Maybe we shouldn't crouch it. Maybe we don't need to. We just need full momentum and a very full jump. I mean, we shouldn't stall there at all. We just need full momentum going into that jump over the gap. Okay, don't touch the corner. And even that didn't save us that time. We were a little too far to the left in the note block. And again, we do want to hit the wall, I think, to reverse out of that properly. Oh, whoops. It's a very tricky landing in that specific location. Nope. Took too long there. Okay, nope. I was about to say something about full momentum out of the jump, but of course we need to clear the ceiling on the way out of Divine to begin with before we worry about making the gap. Yeah, but yeah, you can't really stall there after jumping off of the Divine. You just need to go and lunge for it. It's funny, because of that 50 coin, we've actually been gaining when it comes to lives. Oops. For some reason, it reminds me of 2-K Boppopolis in Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which is a level that has so many consecutive bounces that you just bank up tons of lives as you're learning it, and so it's one of the hardest levels in the game, definitely in the top 2 or 3. But also one that comes back very quickly if you've ever cleared it once. Because by the end you just totally learn the bounce mechanics and timings in Tropical Freeze if you didn't have them down already. And I mention that level again because it's one that notably just effectively felt like it gave you infinite lives, even though you'd be dying there more often than anywhere else in the entire experience. Nope. Oh, that top corner was a problem that time. Maybe we should be doing the crouch jump, but again, we had momentum problems. Before, I probably just didn't hold the jump well enough. Yeah, perhaps we should treat it as a crouch jump, but right now that distance is one that we have not been able to cover at any point, so... Nope, lost too much momentum that time. And there's a Pokey that comes down there and walls you off as well. Not that it has been an issue. We've had too many other problems to contend with. Yeah, every segment here has taken work, but it's been satisfying to put together. No doubt about that. Yeah, once again, I was trying to pull it back there so we could get a bit more momentum after the landing. We don't really feel that close to making that huge jump from cloud to cloud happen. And there's a lot that needs to be sorted out. Hopefully we don't get into too much trouble after that jump, so we just do it once and get it over with. I knew that was a problem once again. No, once again, just all kinds of inconsistency in our momentum control. We'll get there. Wow, okay. Thought we were in the clear that time, but... not quite there yet. Unfortunately. It's a big climb. No. previously didn't have that much of a problem there. We just need to clear enough room there for the topmost pokey to get out of our way and get the continuation. Yeah, you see, just like that, back and forth. Oh, that's gonna be a problem. I knew when we hit the wall that that was too much of a slowdown to make it to the note block. Well, so much for all the time we gained for ourselves in World 2. But once again, need much better reversal. We've hit the wall. There we go. Yeah, the wall bounce fixes a lot with it. I just missed a jump. No, once again, missed it. Because the first jump towards the Poke on the left was poor timing, and we just didn't manage to find the correction. Nope, I knew it. We were coming in a little bit low that time, and wouldn't be able to get the momentum deflection on the wall before the note block came into play. Well, we shall see. No, once again, just too late off the top corner. We didn't have that problem previously, and then now we've been running into it every single time. Made it that far, so something is clearly off with what we've been doing there, and we've been introducing new mistakes along the way. No, I knew I was going to be late that time. But we've just had such an awkward time with that corner in the last few attempts. No, we just haven't quite fixed what was going on there yet. Minor fluctuations in how you fall sometimes have a pretty big impact on whether an attempt is going to go well. Yeah. Clean wall deflection that time at least. Yeah, just lots of platforming problems to solve in quick succession. Does have to be impressed with the variety of platforming obstacles that we need to deal with. No, not enough momentum. We can't just do that from stationary. Yeah, that jump there from cloud to cloud, we've been nowhere close to making it happen. It felt very much like there should have been something else to bounce on there, but we just haven't quite made that lunge. Yeah, I've been trying to veer left there so we could build enough momentum going left to right as we fall into that column, but then now we're falling too close to the left side. And the pokey located there. Nope. Missed once again. We really haven't had any kind of clean attempt in the cloud section just yet. Nope, once again, trying to give ourselves some space and I just haven't made that landing whenever we tried to adjust. Because we want to have a continuous left to right landing and motion into the cloud jump. Get where we need to go, and at no point have we been able to set that up. Well, oh, that was terrible. Just far too late onto the platform. Well, I can see why this is mapped as the optional bonus level. Like I said, we're doing it all though. Okay. Good, and then, oh. Oh. Nope, just took too long to get out of the vine, and that was almost salvageable, we just missed the last jump. Yeah, I was trying to climb from vine to vine, but those are exactly kind of jumps off of a climb that I have trouble with. First time seeing that though, that's best attempt yet by several jumps. We did have the right idea, it's just that reaction time was a little bit poor, and getting positioned properly on the vines was a big problem there. Nope, took too long there. That was not going to work. Okay. Back a bit here. Point to point. Nope, missed it, missed it. It's that corner once again, coming off the vine. There's always just a bit of a gluiness jumping off vines, because you can't really build momentum. It was awkward in Maker 1, it was awkward again here in Maker 2. Where just estimating speed and distance coming off of a vine, I think, is just not the most natural thing. I mean, that's where the challenge is coming from, that's why that is the final test. Yeah, once again, this seems like the easiest jumps, but the issue is that we're trying to leave ourselves room to build momentum and fall accurately at an angle without compromising the left to right motion. That's why we've been having trouble clearing that top left corner. Okay, that's fine. No. Missing the vine cling, of all things. Pressed up a moment too late there. I mean, it was a bit of a close shave anyhow. Well, this is going to take a little bit more work. Going for that a little too eagerly. That's one of the only instances of going too early there, actually. After making it there in the first place. Okay. Yeah, just need lots of control going back and forth. I don't know why we're missing the vine cling. We're just landing too close to the muncher. I don't want to land too high because basically we'd have to climb and adjust slowly to avoid the top corner, but now we're just landing too low on the vines for comfort. Yeah, every jump here has been its own little isolated platforming problem. It's very impressive that this level has managed to squeeze that much variety from moment to moment. And enforce it just so. While feeling like everything is just a test of absolutely traditional mechanics. Nope, just missing the jumps. Once again, just trying to go left off the vine and we just keep hitting the ceiling. And having two consecutive jumps off vines as well. Second one with a controlled timing, that's potentially going to take us some time to sort out. No. I feel like we had a level like that fairly late in our time of Maker 1, one where we were just dying repeatedly to jumps off of successions of vines that were final test. Can't quite recall off the top of my head which one that was, but definitely a bit of a recurring trauma here, I suppose. Oh, we missed. No, we just missed. Maybe we can make up for some lost time here, but we'll have to be quite exact. Oh, that was not exact. Too late. Didn't see the ground at that point, but we just were too late in the last jump just from rushing through it. Natcat, welcome. Natcat, we've been on this level for an hour. It is the bonus path in World 3, but we are doing every level, of course. It's by far the hardest one in the sequence so far. Not even close, in fact. Nope. And it's just these jumps off vines that are repeatedly the issue. The 4 worlds, actually, I think. No, 5 worlds. 5 worlds, 4 levels apiece. Typically, you just expect so many people to compose their worlds with 5 levels apiece that I kind of have to work this out in my head. But no, I believe it's 5 worlds, 4 apiece, total 20 levels, so we are through 2 so far. We're on number 9. World 2 went really quickly. We also were set off a little bit by a disconnection at the very beginning where I had to redo the first level from scratch just to progress into Super World. That didn't take too long, but I did have server issues with Mario Maker earlier. No. Yeah, it's been a very high quality experience, of course. Mechanically, everything is just traditional in terms of the actual technical requirements, just that some segments like this one have been particularly punishing. Can't leave ourselves enough room, and once again, just hitting the ceiling. I don't jump off vines for a while, as a general rule. Which is kind of funny when you think that, you know, my big showpiece for 4YMM was a big vine climb level. Despite that, I really don't jump off the vines very well. Yeah, Sapphire, I hope you're doing well. Okay. No. Just trying to manage that carefully too, knowing that we have some time. What other Super Worlds do I plan to play? I've got a list of like 7 or 8 or so. It's going to be a weeks-long effort, especially if I get distracted by the Paper Mario remake later in the month. But yeah, this will be the main Maker content for the next little while. We've got lots of worlds to get through, some fairly recent when it comes to completion. This one here was completed in March. There's some other ones from this year I wanted to look at, and some other ones that are deep in the backlog from previous years as well. We haven't really done much streaming of Super Worlds in quite a long time, so it's nice to return to this format. So, the remake of Thousand Year Door is... I mean, it's kind of like a straight remaster in terms of the artwork being replaced, but all the systems and battles and stories seemingly remaining the same, except that the English localization has also been completely rewritten so far as I know, and there are a few bonus features that have been announced, like a soundtrack swap and as usual. I don't know if there is any other additional content being kept under wraps, of course, but it might be the case. Once again, we need full momentum here. So I guess more of a remaster in terms of fidelity to the original game, rather than being a brand new game under the same name. But it looks like it is a pretty substantial piece of work. And one thing I've been consistently looking forward to about Nintendo remakes has been the music. We were talking about this quite a lot when when playing Mario vs. Donkey Kong last month. I haven't picked up the remake of Super Mario RPG, but the fact that it was completely reorchestrated there as well was a big selling point. Or is, if I actually get around to it. Finally, we got it. Let's not die here. CP? Certainly hope so. Were we able to scroll ahead and get that at the end? I feel like we missed something, but it's going to be a long ways back to see it. Yeah, there's no reason why we couldn't have. Oh, unless it was no. It's in the main world, so we could have freely just walked it and seen what was in the pipe. Did we jump the gun there and not take the secret pipe? That was something we'll have to look at. But it took me so long to get through the final segment there, and moreover, in Super Worlds, you can't really redo it from the map anyway, so. I gotta potentially look at that and see if there is an ending, or just ask Suzuki if he comes by. Because, that was by far the hardest level in this whole sequence, but also, I think, clearly the best that we played today, so. Yeah, Netcat, 1,000 Year Door is one of my all-time favorites as well. I mean, the GameCube has such depth, though, that, you know, I think it has multiple games rather that are best in genre. The Goomba had Porcupine for interaction here we've seen before. I remember it was a level by, I think it was Rybones, that really showed this off. Anyway, the theme here, as you can see in the image in the top left, isn't necessarily Porcupine. It is Goomba Hat, and it's an item we're always elated to see. Best item in the game. But yeah, Netcat, the depth of the GameCube library is just incredible. There's just one real shortcoming to it, which is that 2D platformers were sort of dead on console during that era. We need to not touch the POWs. Oh, so there is state detection going on here. Well, yeah, because losing a Goomba Hat would affect the motion of whatever is in the detection mechanism. Might be something global. We've seen a lot of different Goomba detector mechanisms before, of course, so I kind of wonder which one this one is using, but whichever it is, it's well concealed. No, on the Ant Trooper, yeah. There was the super global track block setup by Snoop, for instance, that I've never really seen used in a live level. It was a really interesting way to do a Goomba detector that just nobody picked up on, really. I've seen some other pretty good detector mechanisms as well. It was a fun one that I think was potentially creeper-based. I was by Paxman for the creation station. Do I have the Game Boy player? I used to. Rather, I had a family member who had one. The Game Boy player was actually how I played Superstar Saga originally. And probably some other games besides. Nope, lost it. It's probably still with the box of GameCube goodies I have sitting around somewhere. Nope, missed it. Oh, you were going to say that if I have that, I'm covered for 2D platformers. Whoops. Maybe so. I was never really that deep into the 2D platformer library on GBA, oddly enough. I mean, it was only last year on Wii U that I played Super Mario Advance 4 with all the e-reader levels, which of course were mostly not localized until Wii U anyway. And as for the other ones that were the Super Mario Advance ports, I had played the originals anyhow. The GBA has an amazing library. It's actually incredible what a run it had. Over a very short span of time. That the DS kind of came in as a semi-replacement in 2004. I think the last GBA game I got would have been Minish Cap in 2005. Right at the top of the year. I remember that because I played it on my DS. Like the original fat DS. Having the cat here isn't going to help. We are going to be stuck. It looks like we'll need Cat Goomba to be our state, though. Yeah, Cat Goomba, and then we climb onto the left, and we have to climb onto Semi-Solid just dangling, which is something I visually sometimes miss, especially the desert theme, actually. For some reason. I think it just blends well. No, all's well that blends well. So yeah, oddly enough, what I think of the GBA library, it's incredibly strong, but 2D platformers are not the first thing to come to mind for me. By any means. But yeah, I thought it was very unfortunate that for so long 2D platformers were just consigned to portables only. Even when Mario made a comeback with the first NSMB. But yeah, I'd say that, that's really just most conspicuous hindrance on the GameCube library. That, and I think in hindsight, it's also the platform where well, I mean, 3D Mario had Sunshine, and Sunshine's a game that has a lot going for it, but also had enough issues that it did seem to be a platform in general where Mario was one of the least important things about it, unusually so for Nintendo. Okay, we needed to climb here. Whoops, we just went too high on the wall. Let's go over to the snake block. Oh, yeah, we need to stall over the ant troopers here. We can't go so quickly. Where's the Porcupuffer on the right? We know that by now. Of course, there was one 2D platform that really stood out in the GameCube, and that is, of course, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Oh, I'm gonna jump over this, and look at that Porcupuffer. Amazing aim. Yeah, I wasn't sure we could do this one in one sitting today because, you know, 20 levels looks like a pretty manageable number with a lot of the clear rates being pretty generous as well. But, and of course, World 2 just going down so quickly when we did it. But I might break this into 2 sittings. And we kind of lost the first half hour of the stream to the disconnect as well, so. No, bad fall there. Yeah, we just need to jump off of the climb a lot better than we've been doing. And yet, the Bashad Visser Jungle Beat detected. I never owned it with the bongos. I rented it with bongos, and I wish I had owned it in retrospect. Back when you could actually rent console games that came with niche peripherals. That seemed like a reality that was... well, that is now generations in the past. So when is the... when was the last time that was possible? But yeah, picked up Jungle Beat with the bongos on the rental once and just beat my hands sore with it. I remember being so elated that... oh, yeah, I lost the Goomba hat, hence the cap dive. Being so elated that it was the Jungle Beat team in Tokyo that took over 3D Mario over Galaxy. The enthusiasm was correct. No, we just keep clipping the corner. Nintendo artificially stretched games back when you could rent them. I mean, Jungle Beat's a pretty brisk experience up to the gold medals, not the top medals, obviously, because those take work. No, yeah, we need to do like a tiny little jump here over the POWs. I never played Pokemon Coliseum, actually. I don't have much context for it. I don't have that much context for Pokemon generally. I'm a once every 5 to 10 year mainline Pokemon player at most. So I'm not up to speed on what Coliseum was all about. Yeah, Jungle Beat was in some ways a perfect rental, except for the fact that, you know, in retrospect, I wish I just had the bongos. I mean, the bongos were only really good for that game in Donkey Kong 1 and 2, right? But it's pretty much the definition of the kind of thing Nintendo used to do. Whoops. I read that correctly, but just came off of it too late. That little one-tile climb there. Yeah, like I was saying, confined porcupuffers with the Goomba hat is something that I'd seen maybe once or twice before from other makers, and in a good way. I always remember good Goomba concepts. But the time that we had seen it was more of a series of one-room challenges, I think, rather than a carefully timed auto-scrolling experience. It's definitely a pretty significant elaboration of that concept. We keep bumping this. You're saying you liked Pizza Tower in relation to Jungle Beat. That's interesting. I've heard a couple of platformer people swear by Pizza Tower. I understand that the thinking is that a Switch port is not expected, but you never know. You would think that whoever's managing the portfolio with Nintendo knows that that's one they should be pushing on. In terms of being right for the market. But yeah, there was a lot in Galaxy that, on first play, definitely made me think, yeah, this is by the people who made Jungle Beat. I think it was the floating globs of water in particular. Because that's all over the place in Jungle Beat. And nope, dropped too early. Using Pizza Tower is magical if you put the effort into perfect movement. Well, it's good to know that it has that kind of depth. That's really the make or break test for a lot of indie platformers, I think, is, you know, do they have movement right? And the state of that is better than it used to be, I think. I remember there was a time when tons of indie platformers would just make me think, yeah, you definitely playtested this with mouse and keyboard. Because the physics just don't feel right. That hasn't been the case for a while, I think. I think there's a certain degree of maturity that the field has reached when it comes to design principles. No, I was trying to cling up there. We just failed the high bounce on the second blooper. It's supposed to be a cling, and then you climb over before the ant trooper comes your way. Okay. It feels an inch bit bigger, small. Yeah, I know that it's supposed to be a bit of a spiritual successor to Warrior Land, but that's one series I don't know well either, so that comparison doesn't tell me what it wants to tell me. Whatever it is. I mean, as far as the GameCube is concerned, and as far as 2D movement is concerned, 2D mechanics in general, a game I really miss, which I really don't think has been equaled or approximated, but the exact thing that it was doing, is Beautiful Joe. Which, you know, if you look at how Capcom manages their IP revivals nowadays, they barely realize it exists anymore. There's a particular thing that it was doing with side-scrolling action that I think just has not been equaled. Whoop. Yeah, once again, we need to not step on that so early. Yeah, it's looking like we'll split this super world into 2 sessions. We're only at about the halfway point now, I think. Okay, finally made it there. Climb here, and then we'll duck over this side and get out. We're clearly going for that. It looks like it's an optional path, and I feel like we missed the optional path in that other level. In fact, yeah, because of that pipe at the end of that previous level, that was really the most difficult one. I feel like I'm gonna go back and check it. Maybe at the end of the super world, or just as a separate thing. Oh, whoops! Climbing a little high every time. We just need to not climb. We just need to jump into this. Okay, what have we got here? A bonus room. Okay, purely just bonus room. It probably is just a bonus room that we missed. Eagerly going for the goal. Unless it's just there for Super World flavor, which does happen. Beautiful. Again, I always remember the good Goomba hat levels, and while we had seen the Porcupuffer concept before, it wasn't with this kind of level design, with the continuous auto-scroller. Very well put together. Let's try to get through World 3 if we can. And we'll see how we're doing for time. Yeah, Goomba and Cat is great. It's underused. The Goomba in general is just underused. Considering how good it is, and that, you know, it's almost kind of like SMB2 and the Link power-ups, in that it manipulates so many other things in the game. It just changes up an entire series of interactions with every other piece you can put on the board, right? And so it's much bigger than just one item, because it just opens up a whole space of possibilities. Yeah, we need to land accurately here. This actually already reminds me of one particular Mang level from a long time ago, actually. It was also continuous wind. With ground pounds. You can see that ground pound coming with the big bones. Oh no, we need to double hit it so we could lower the spring. Yeah. Saw that a bit late. And we need to activate that thwomp. the thwomp is going to hit the on-off switch, but then perhaps we need to hang left to wall jump. I don't know, you have to do a really quick read there. I didn't see what we were aiming for. Oh yeah, you can sneak under directly. And Thwomp is going to hit over there, which is going to raise the Muncher into the P-switch, so we need to get off that platform before the Thwomp makes contact. Again, because of wind speed, we... Oh, no, need to double hit. Should be able to make all the necessary timings. It's just that, as with other physics changes like low gravity, you just can't trust your usual intuitive estimates for where you're going to go. Again, need to back out of the wind a little bit so we don't run into the pokey that's specifically put there to catch you in that trap of trying to lean right. Double hit. Sneak under, and then we jump off. Yeah, I didn't account for wind there, that's the issue. Too busy watching the mecha and watching the P timing too. See where to stand there. Yeah, because the ground pound actually gets in position. Oh no. Didn't hit the on-off quickly enough. Not only do we need to hit the on-off, but you need to get up into a wall jump after that. Oh, double hit. Forgetting. Even though it's clearly the thing to do. Yeah, the Poke's parked on top of the semi-solid. That's the thing that I wasn't seeing earlier when I thought it might just be a wall jump off the left. Obviously not. The wind blows you too hard away from that. But the fact that the Poke's on top of a semi-solid means that we just need to visualize sneaking under it on the fall, as we've done a few times successfully already. I was going to lose there for a moment, but nope, it shouldn't have done the ground pound there. It's the next section that we do the ground pound into the bones. And the wind positions you on the lower platform just fine before the blue mecha fires at you. Again, adjusting all your typical estimates for the additional push from the wind is really what this whole level is about. Nope. It's thrown off a little bit there by the spin I did at the bottom. Nope. It's funny because it's probably possible to stall there, it's just that the munchers would come down and put an end to that. No. I think we had to go up to that ledge and wall jump into the on-off switch. No, I don't think... Well, yeah, it's a pretty big pullback there at the on-off. I just don't see how to do it cleanly yet, but... Oops, double hit. Yeah, we just really need to sort of lean back after a single P block. the location where the mecha is punching through. Zapping through, I guess, more accurately. Little twirl there would have done a whole lot of wonders. Super Mario wonders. No. Yeah, jump on a single P and then really need to hang left into the on-off switch. And probably spin while jump out of that to continue. We'll see. Activating that on-off accurately is the big unsolved problem there at the moment. Nope. Yeah, the wind compensation there is causing issues. It probably should be a spin over to the P. Nope, missed. One great thing about this Super World, and actually about Bizuki style in general, is how cleanly indicated it is. I think the only level that was a bit visually noisy was the one that had the spike top mazes underwater, but you know, conceptually that's just what the level was. Really avoid that. No. Just keep poking my head there. Again, we're trying to compensate for the wind a little bit, but definitely we just need to get on top of that set of 3 and jump around in that particular alcove before the Mecha Koopa comes zapping. The Zappa Mecha Koopa, otherwise known as a Moon Unit Mecha Koopa. That's something original to the maker, I think. Zappa Mecha and Blasta Mecha are names that were just introduced in the editor chatter. Nope. Again. Just trying to get out of there in time, but after the ground pound, you sort of need to adjust around wind and land accurately. Nope. Yeah, hit the on-off switch and then have to proceed after that. Nope. I was trying to pull back a little bit to get up to that on-off switch, but I just have not been able to aim that jump at all. It's been the maximum extent of our progression so far. Yeah, I think it's got to be a... Well, maybe we push forward again and let the wind push us, but I'm deciding between that and some kind of spin wall jump on the left, perhaps, to give us some boost over to the right. I don't know if we'll make it though, because again, compensating for wind is not something I do very intuitively. Nope. That was mostly fine, I think. Again, figuring out how to back into a wall jump on the left has been a bit of a problem, but we've been fumbling around that quite a bit. No, double hit. Yeah, second fix I don't tend to put on videos while I'm streaming, regardless, so our link filter is going to be a little bit aggressive. We'll check it afterwards, not on stream. Nope, miss. Yeah, we kind of landed on the left that time. We just need to wall jump off of it accurately. Unless it is just, you know, lean right and continue, but again, not sure the wind is actually going to carry me that far. After backing into the on-off switch. Yeah, it is. Oh, you can totally make that jump too. I mean, maybe it's easier with a wall jump, but particularly a spin wall jump, but it's hard to tell. And yeah, P-switch expire is going to get me into trouble on the right side of the pokey if we don't go immediately. I think it's just a straight jump over to pokey, actually. Looks too awkward to be a wall jump off the top corner. I think with wind momentum we can gain enough height there. Yeah. And then we have to enter... Oh, nope, there's a bonus there. Yeah, we're gonna try it. We made it all the way here. Of course we're gonna try for it. Just need to be slightly faster. Probably just a bonus for him, given precedent, but it's the principle of the thing. Have to pull back like crazy on quite a few of those jumps, just to compensate for wind. Gain as much time on the P-switch activation as we can off the second flop here.
Oh,
Nope.
no.
Cutting it a little close though.
Oh, no.
That was unusual, but I guess we came up just a little bit short. Time of that twirl.
Oh, no.
This will require some more fixing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think the idea will be that we do this level and we'll do the World 3 Castle and we'll probably stop there today. And
Oh, no.
we can really take our time with remaining worlds in a second sitting and possibly backtrack for some secret hunting afterwards if we miss anything really conspicuous.
Oh, no.
Given that, we're going to take our time to look for the true ending on this one. Miss.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh, no.
well, that was a bit of a pratfall, but these things happen. Lives have ceased to matter. We've been picking up enough coins to sit pretty at 99 for some time, so. Here we go. Yeah, just a bonus room as expected, but it's not like we need the lives either, but we'll take the points. And the door. And there's actually still another section after this. Oh, we should have gone back through the door to reload that one up. That's okay. I guess we have to go quickly. This is a ground pound for sure. Actually, maybe not even that, because ground pound would carry you a bit far, actually. Yeah, I just need to stay there. I was wondering when that was going to give me the zap. But yeah, I didn't see that door.
Oh, no.
There was one more hit available on the mecha that we were landing on. Because it's a double stack, I see. On the block, on a spring, on a switch, and then that will get you down to the red blocks over to Munchers.
Oh, no.
The bomb is going to hit the on-off switch at some point. We basically have to twirl and stall because the swamp is going to obstruct red blocks, so we do need to wait for the state switch there.
Oh,
Too close.
no.
Yeah, the on-off switch triggers the bomb being loaded in position. That does the double hit. Because the bomb is pre-detonated as you come in. As soon as you scroll it in, that's when its timing starts, and so there's no real flexibility, I think, when it comes to Trying to detonate it earlier, apart from just, you know, scrolling in quickly and trying to stall. Yeah, so that actually gave me plenty of time, and then we need to land on a blue platform and then jump nice and far.
Oh no! Oh no!
Okay, let's try it again.
Oh no!
It's funny because you could actually go off the one-way panel as a wall jump location. It just wouldn't be quite as simple to finesse, I think, compared to just, you know, jumping.
Oh no!
But yeah, if it looks like we're missing the question block, it's possible to take that as a wall jump instead, I think. I wonder what the one-way panels are even doing there. I guess if you want to foolishly ground pound on the floating question block and then that's some kind of continuation. Nah, I don't think so.
Oh no!
Okay, all the way over. Wait, how? And then
Oh no!
it really looks like you're supposed to ride on the icicle because how? Oh no, because a wall jump, particularly a spin wall jump, will be boosted by the wind. Again, estimating what kind of jumps are possible
Oh
while accounting for wind physics can throw off a lot of mental and visual estimates that we rely on every day for platform jumping purposes. Yeah, I was trying to lean left there, but of course with the wind it was a bit tricky, but it looks very much like a spin wall jump.
Oh no!
To head over that thwomp. And the icicle is just there as a time constraint to make sure you go.
Oh no!
Yeah, I gotta lean all the way to the right to Mr. Muncher, and then we lean all the way to the left for wall slide. The icicle constrains you from sliding all the way down too slowly. By the looks of it.
Oh no!
And we do have to make it past that one-way panel first before stomping on the munchers. Again, yeah, I've been trying to lean left there and we just haven't been able to get the wall cling on it. Well, because we already have the wall cling on the right, and we need to swap to the left. Maybe with a single wall jump on that column.
Oh no!
Yeah, we just haven't been able to hit the wall there. We just need to not hug the right wall and just hug the left one directly, I think. But then with the wind, I mean, we know we can still do it. We do wall jumps and winds all the time, but
Oh no!
for some reason we're missing that one. It looks quite necessary. And given the angle, it really should be a spin. Oh,
Oh no!
really got smushed there.
Oh no!
Well, a long ways to go. But of course is assisted by wind, so not as long as all that. That cat wants Toadette to have a go. I think she's quite eager to provide us with some relief. Yeah, we're backing into the Muncher to compensate. Much too early before we're over the one-way panel yet. Awkward spot there. Okay, standard. Whoa. Okay, yeah, no, I see. The thwomp actually moves that platform, so you need to be really crisp. I'm guessing with the horizontal speed we need, that has to be a spin. I was thinking spin, we just missed it. Okay, over this way. Yeah, we need a much fuller jump there. It's repeatedly been a bit of an issue going over that corner. No, yeah, it has to be a spin. I think so anyway. It makes sense to be. Because we have to beat the thwomp to it on that cross. Or maybe not. I mean, if we do it as a spin, we have to go much lower. Maybe it's just a standard jump. We just need to go fast and not stall too much. Standard jump did make it comfortably earlier. It just was a bit slow. Yeah, just missing the wall cling on the left side that we need. Accounting for the winds, it's tricky to land. Oh, missed. The twirl was a problem, but that was a bit of an emergency move when we were already sailing past a Koopa. That's the first time I've seen that, though. Oh, it's a new record. So yeah, I landed in the mega. Yeah, standard jump will do fine past that thwomp. We just need to go immediately upon landing. Okay. Vine on the climb here is going to be nice to have. We're not going to mess around too much. We'll just grab the flag and fail to get to one-up on it. Actually, spin probably would have done it, but that's okay. Let's finish the World 3 airship. This will likely be the last one today. Return of the Toadborough Din. I wonder if there will be a escape room mystery solving that we need to do here. Once again, love the title images that have been made of every level. This is going to be low gravity. Yeah, this world is extremely generous with one-ups. Checkpoints generally haven't been an issue either. We've seen a lot of short single-segment levels in it. Although World 3 has really been pulling off all the stops. Okay. Oh, no, we need to run it. I have played Oberdin. I didn't play it on stream, though. I actually played it during my streaming hiatus in late 2020, so... Yeah, basically from about... Well, in late 2020 until Bowser's Fury came out, actually. I was off stream for about half a year. This was when I was a very small channel because I'd only been doing it for a few months, but... Basically, it took a while to figure out how to get a streaming schedule viable again in that time, and which is why I eventually ended up with this sort of off-peak nocturnal solution that has a very specific viewer base. But anyway, I say this because during the time when I was figuring out how to resume a streaming schedule, I played Oberdin off stream when it was ported to Switch. This was late 2020. I do remember it quite clearly. I remember the time I played it quite clearly, rather. And, you know, as you can probably guess, it was very much my kind of thing. I did have one issue with it, which was that because you present a solution in sets of 3, if you narrow down potential suspects for a given clue to, say, 2 suspects, it's a game that is vulnerable to a little bit of guessing if you just want to, you know, have a 50% chance you just swap the names if it doesn't work. I think there was only one instance that I had to do that. There was one clue that was one that I actually missed, and which I sort of figured out after the fact. Distinguishing 2 of the very seemingly minor members of the crew. Yeah, I played Papers, Please originally. I was really kind of surprised at how much of an impact it seemed to make on other people, because, you know, I just thought it was a funny little interface game, but, you know, people saw it as deep and anti-authoritarian commentary in it, or whatever, but you know, which was not at all how I took the game. Where I think some people played the game and were just thinking, "Wow, isn't it so dystopian that you're rejecting people at the border like this, and how inhumane it is to play as part of the system?" That's not how I played it. I just thought it was kind of a rather interesting demonstration of how, whoops, spin jump here, obviously, very sort of analog interfaces, as in pushing papers around on your desk and keeping track of things by memory, etc., is itself kind of an optimization game in its own right. But yeah, it was a fun little diversion. I can't say that Papers, Please really made that much of an impact on me originally, once we, you know, just sort of saw the concept. Okay, we really need to remember to spin jump here. I think it every time and I don't actually do it. Yeah, Oberdin I enjoyed a lot, though. There have been a couple of other mystery games that have been recommended to me as well that I do mean to get to at some point. What was it? I think it was The Case of Golden Idol. I have that title correctly. That was one that had come up as one that I should look into. I understand that the Switch port is rather broken, so I have to play it on PC. You were about to mention Case of Golden Idol. Yeah, you're ahead of me on that. I was recently told about a game that's kind of like a linguistics game, Chants of Sonar, which I had a demo of it on my Switch. I haven't actually looked at it yet. Whoops, no. Spin on the Piranhas. Once again, I don't know why I keep missing that spin. Like I said, think it every time. Yeah, Netcat, I saw they finally ported Outer Wilds. I've been meaning to play Outer Wilds for years and years, but I haven't actually picked it up on the Switch due to potential concerns about performance. I might just wait until I finally get the PC upgrade I've been talking about for years. Outer Wilds at one point was on NVIDIA GeForce Now, but then it was pulled, and I don't think they ever brought it back. Because I've been using that as a stopgap solution for a lot of things my PC can't run well. But yeah, Outer Wilds has been on the to-do list for years. Because it's another one that, you know, people tell me is a good fit. For what I want to get out of my video games, so. But yeah, I'm severely backlogged. I was talking about this earlier on the stream too, that I, for the longest time, had a pretty good sense of self-control when it comes to not backlogging myself too much. We did need to land on the cannonball. The cannon, rather, and then the cannonball. But I think last year I spent so much time on, you know, really gigantic games like Tears of the Kingdom and Fire Emblem and so on that I've fallen way behind a lot of smaller titles that I picked up along the way, and some big ones too. I've picked up too many games. Maybe we can get directly over to the Black Cannonball, but I'm not sure. The airship camera bob. Getting the Black Cannon out of view is throwing me off slightly, so. Look at those P-blocks there. Not even interacting with a P-switch, just being there to be a very clearly visible obstruction. And specifically one that doesn't obstruct anything but Toadette there. But yeah, actually a kind of neat little visual highlight to use to people upstairs too. Make sure you notice what's going on with the red cannon. Whoops. That's not meant to be a spin. Let's not miss the easy stuff. But yeah, like I've been saying, it's going to be Super Worlds for the next little bit. Unless I do want to cram in Thousand Year Door remake, since I adore the original game. But oh no, trying to spin and then we just fell off the edge. It's supposed to be a spin, obviously. I haven't posted a Super World list yet, Netcat. I've just been posting codes as I get to the Super Worlds themselves. Again, I've been deciding week to week, just based on my estimate of what we think we can get done. And of course, this one here will take 2 sessions, at least. 2 sessions. And there are some that are going to be a bit longer than I want to make a little more time for. I'll post a list at some points, but it might just be a list of things as we complete them. Now you switch over to a standard jump over here on the red cannon. That'll get us over to the note block. Yeah, Netcat, if you have any Super Worlds that you're particularly keen on, you let me know, and I'll make sure I share all the relevant codes with you as well as we get further along. But yeah, I did make a little reference list of maker codes and worlds and their respective sizes, and just a sort of candidate list to pick from. And we do have quite a few, some of which had been on the to-do list for some time. Okay. And then you get on top of the black cannons to punch through everything, and then that gets you through to the blue pipe on the top right. You've only played 4 or 5 Super Worlds in this game. Yeah, I used to play a lot more of them. But I was looking through my records, and I think prior to Super Boom Boom World last week, the last time I did a Super World stream top to bottom was with Super Korean World way back in early 2022. So it had been some time. The Super Korean World collaboration, which had some people like Persia, WBC, a lot of other ones that you would know. Yeah, there are definitely some older ones that I looked at that I would happily recommend as well. Okay, a bit of a back and forth here that we'll need to do. And because this is going to be the world boss. No, we need to wait for the cannonball. We can't just go. Still in high-speed platforming mode here, even though the screen has stopped. Nope, need much better estimates here, particularly because we're likely to bonk So that's head on the ceiling if we jump like that. Yeah, in that case, I'm kind of surprised that you played so few Super Worlds, in fact, given how much Mario Maker you played. And, you know, how much you've clearly kind of picked up as recommendations along the way. But yeah, there are a few makers where I played a lot of the work comprehensively, except for their Super Worlds. Because I kind of put it on the back burner for some later date. Well, perhaps that later date is coming. Yeah, we need that nice and low. No, it can't be. We have to go under the mole, I think. Yeah, maybe it is under the mole. I've been misreading this. Under the rocky ridge. Yeah, we just needed to go up by itself, and then we go this way. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Nope, we did not come off the edge, of course. So yeah, there's going to be a back and forth here until we manage to get the key. Yeah, it seems like there's a bomb over here that will lead to something from Red Side Pipe. Let's wait again. We missed this opportunity. Just need to take it patiently in some places. Oh, POW, okay. We can get as many POWs as we need off the pipe, but we should try to just get the muncher. We missed. Oh, no, we got it. Because it's not off the muncher, it's off the mole. Let's kill the muncher anyway, so we have something to jump on. We'll even take the POW. And then, yeah, if you kill the muncher here, then you get to grab all of this. You played a lot of levels from a lot of makers, and you played. If you played the Super Worlds, you'd mostly be replaying levels you already played. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of more newly launched Super Worlds that have been in the making for some time, but so that would not be the case. Missed it. We're at 99 lives. It doesn't matter. But in some cases, there were some makers where, you know, they'd been on my followed list for a long time, but I just sort of worked around their Super Worlds in case I'd get to them. But it's nice to see some of these projects in sequence. Yeah, the British adversary is still needing to hold back on Barnstorm because he is still in progress. Yeah, I've seen some makers who do the interim uploads for projects that are clearly still ongoing and years long in the making. And in those cases, I'm also just holding off. Anyway, this is going to be all we do for today. There is still a set of 4 levels here and 4 more to go in World 5, I believe. So 8 levels remain, and then, like I said, if we manage to do this quickly on the next stream, we'll see how to fill things in. But given the difficulty pacing so far, and how much longer World 3 took me compared to World 2, I think we'll not necessarily bet on our good fortunes here. But we'll leave you with the Sky World music here as we dash off somewhere else. So And yeah, to percent visitor, you've done interim uploads as well, which made your maker profile a mess. I mean, you know, that's what the Super World upload is for, right? It straightens it out for people. And they don't need to mess around with going through your profile in any kind of set or chronological order. In that cat, there are some makers who are uploading fresh patches for the Super World. This is almost certainly the case here with Suzuki's World, actually, which was uploaded in March. Because, yeah, a lot of the levels were kind of uploaded in sequence. There are some other makers who did just collate Super Worlds from their existing levels that I may have played, but in general, you know, a lot of the Super Worlds I've been planning to look at were designed from the start to be Super Worlds, and as far as I know. In that the courses were numbered and everything. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me today. These were great levels. We had a bit of a rocky start to the stream with the disconnect. And of course there was that one Poke level that took me an hour, but which I think was definitely one of the best ones we've seen so far. We're going to send you folks elsewhere, and we're likely going back to viewer levels tomorrow, but continuing this next week. Typically, I've been doing the Tuesday to Wednesday stream, like Tuesday PM, Wednesday AM, depending on your time zone. But we'll see what the natural continuation will be. We'll definitely wrap up this world from there and not miss too many secrets along the way, because this has been a really great experience so far from a maker that I think is actually kind of underplayed. So, thanks for watching. Hope you get a chance to enjoy some of this yourself as a player at some point, and we'll be back for more. Until we meet at our next destination. As always, enjoy everything you may be playing, watching, making, verbing. And we'll send you folks on to something different. See you there. Just a moment. And as always, very well.